Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to KTEM 1400 on your AM dial on your radio, and welcome to the Common Sense with Conn call-in talk show. The phone number here, if you would like to call in and make a comment or whatever, the phone number is 254-773-1400. That's 773-1400. This is a call-in talk show. I enjoy it every Saturday, and I hope that you do. But what makes it enjoyable is when good callers call in and discuss some of our common problems that we face in this nation today. And there's a growing number of those problems. So if you have something you want to talk about, you just pick up that telephone and call 773-1400. Now, in the meantime, let me tell you about something we're going to have about 4 o'clock today. I'd like to invite everyone to come to a meet and greet little deal, and that's going to be at 701 Sun Meadows Drive. That's the Peloton Ridge Country Club. That's in Harker Heights, Texas, at 701 Sun Meadows Drive. The phone number, in case you get lost, is 698-2542. That's 254-698-2542. And if that number don't work, call my wife at 300-1885. And she can tell you how to get there. But anyway, y'all all feel free to come out there, and we'll just have a little discussion and kind of meet each other. It'll go from 4 o'clock this evening until 6 o'clock this evening. And that's in Harker Heights. So if you get lost, call 698-2542, and they'll tell you how to get there. We have a guest on our show today. His name is John Dean. He owns Dean Electric and Air Conditioning in Killeen, Texas. So I'd like to welcome John to the show. I'm not sure what we're going to discuss, me and old John, but we're going to discuss something. One thing I'd like for him to tell us a little bit about, he is pretty familiar with a country called Russia. He goes over there fairly often. He has a very nice, beautiful wife that is from Russia. And I guess that's why he goes to Russia so often. But at any rate, he can probably tell us a few things about Russia that we don't know. And I've got Raymond on the telephone, so I guess I better talk to old Raymond first before I turn John loose. Raymond, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. Good afternoon to you, Conn. The reason for my call is I understand, you don't have any of these people in your pocket, so therefore you don't know what they do or how they do it, but my question to you is this. When we elect officials to high offices for the government, these people should obtain their knowledge and try to help people, try to do the right thing, just try to make America great as best as they can. And the only thing I don't understand is how has this country gone to where it is at this time in such bad condition. And I understand, like I said, that you can't tell me everything that I'd like to know because you don't know what these people do. But I would just like to have an insight on your opinion. What is going on in this country, Mr. Conn? It's just getting out of control. And you have yourself a good day, sir. God bless you, and I will take my question off the air. Thank you.
Well, Raymond, I thank you for that question, because it's a question that I ask myself about 14 times a day. What are we doing wrong? Well, I will quote someone. I forgot now who said it, but somebody somewhere said, "In the last days, man will confound himself with his own intelligence." and I believe that that day is here. I think that I think we, shut up, Conn. I hate to say it, but I think maybe we have overeducated ourselves. Maybe we have come to the point where we don't believe anything unless it comes from the university. Well, the reason I call this show Common Sense with Conn, I am not a degree holder. I know that might disappoint somebody, but I do not have a PhD degree. I don't have a master's degree. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I've got a degree from the School of Hard Knocks, and that's the only degree I got. But I contend that common sense is born of experience. So I think that we as a nation are making a bad mistake when we assume that the only knowledge is that knowledge gained in a classroom. You know, how do you know that you really shouldn't hit your thumb with a hammer when you're driving a nail? How do you know that? It may be because you hit your thumb with a hammer once upon a time, and maybe that's how you gained that knowledge. Well, we have a lot of theory knowledge. Global warming, for example. Global warming is a theory generated by computers. They're talking about what's going to happen to our environment 50 years from now, because that's what the computer said was going to happen. Well, is that real? I don't know. I don't know, but are we willing to destroy our country, our business, our everything because of some theory that a computer generated? If you remember when this subject first came up, they discovered that I don't know if it was Cambridge or somewhere in England, some think tank had figured out the global warming scare and how terrible awful it was, and then they discovered that they were cooking the books. So it blew their theory out of the water. But that theory influenced a lot of people's thinking, and it was all bogus. Now they have other theories, I'm sure computer generated, and now we have a thing called artificial intelligence. And are we going to allow artificial intelligence to rule our lives? Thank you for the call, Raymond. And boy, you got my motor started. Anyway,
You got my motor started too.
yeah. Here's John Dean. I'd like to bring him into the conversation. John Dean owns Dean Electric and Air Conditioning in Killeen, Texas. And if y'all need some air conditioning or you need to get electrified, you might want to contact John Dean. But at any rate, now we're going to talk about current affairs in America. John, what do you think about all this?
I think it goes back to Raymond's question, and I think I can contribute to that answer. And that is, there's an old business term that started in the 50s. It was called the Peter Principle. And the definition of the Peter Principle is to rise to your own level of incompetence. And what that means is you're working for a company and you're doing really good, so they promote you. And you learn that job and you get better, they promote you again. But eventually you get enough promotions where you can no longer do the job anymore. And that's called the Peter Principle. You have risen to your own level of incompetence. Well, that's what's happened to America, in my opinion. We're just fed with so much stimuli, and we pick and choose what we want to know. But the people that are coming up today, this generation, doesn't want to know things that are important, like how this country was founded, the details of our government. All they like is sound bites, and the Democrats are perfect for that. They will feed you sound bite after sound bite, and they just say things without being informed. Like,
and if it's a lie, that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. When Trump got elected, thank God for that. Everybody said the popular vote won. It should have been by popular vote. And all of a sudden, the Democrats are totally opposed to the Electoral College. What they don't understand is that Electoral College is a brilliant setup by our founding fathers to allow or to prevent highly populated areas from choosing our government. If we didn't have the Electoral College, then we would end up succeeding. The farmers, we would have our own country. We'd be separated from America, but we're held together because of the Electoral College. It gives equal say to states with less populated areas.
And let me interject it. Without the Electoral College, we could all stay home and not vote. The only vote that would count would be L.A. and New York City, because their population would control the popular vote.
We wouldn't have any food in this country, but we'd have plenty of Starbucks.
Yeah. I think we got a caller done called in here, John. I think we're ready to talk to him. Yes,
sir, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Hi, this is David. I'd like to respond to Raymond's question. I love it when people ask me, how did we get in this mess? My favorite book to answer 90% of the questions that anybody can ask about how we got in this awful mess, the book is called Shadows of Power by Victor Perloff. About a 1985 book, and it's about the Council on Foreign Relations and how those people control the media, and they control who gets promoted in the press when it comes to election time. So that's a great book to read. The second thing is a little DVD which you can get online. Just Google, and you'll find a YouTube video called Overview of America. It's about 30 minutes long. It explains the different forms of government, and it puts Nazism and fascism, the socialist governments, over on the same end of the spectrum as communism. They're all totalitarian governments. And it puts anarchy, which is Antifa and those guys, on the far right, which is anarchy. And our Constitution Republic is somewhere towards the middle. That's my input today.
Okay, since you bring up anarchy, just last week we talked about an elementary school in Oregon where the anarchists put up posters at the elementary school stating that cops were, how'd they say, cops were pedophiles, or no, cops were some derogatory term like that. And this poster was allowed to stay at the elementary school until a group of just regular old common construction workers, just a good old boy club, they walked up and tore that poster down and destroyed it. Okay.
Sounds like common sense to me.
Yes, but now keep in mind the school principal didn't do it, the school teacher didn't do it, the professor from the university didn't do it, common man did it.
That's right. That's what it's going to boil down to.
Yes, and in the future, what are we going to do without the existence of common man? Where does this road take us that we're traveling?
Starting all over again.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to start. I want to keep fighting these bad guys and get good people in Congress and get out in the neighborhoods and get people woke up. But we just got to distribute these books and DVDs and wake people up.
Well, I think, I believe that if we, as an individual, if we know something, if we have some knowledge, do we have a responsibility to share that knowledge?
Absolutely.
If I know that hitting my thumb with a hammer hurts my thumb, do I have a responsibility to tell my young son, don't hit your thumb with a hammer?
Let him find out for himself. He'll learn really quick.
Yeah.
Life is a blend of learning on your own plus learning
That's
from
right.
other people that are more wise.
Well, and there are so many mistakes, lies, whatever you want to call it. Someone said once, if you tell a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. Look at the news media today.
Look at the new definition of what is it? Anti-fascism.
Yeah.
Look at the new
They're just
definition.
communists.
Look at the new definition of fascism. Fascism used to mean to be ruled by a totalitarian government or dictatorship. Now they're changing the term for fascism to mean to be against a liberalism. If you're against liberalism, you're now a fascist. Hence, here comes Antifa.
Well, and another new word is nationalist. Oh my goodness. You're a nationalist?
I'm a nationalist.
Oh my gosh! Oh Lord, have mercy. Man alive, that's terrible.
But they throw
You
the
know-
term in white to make it sound really bad, because
Yeah.
white is a bad word right now.
Yeah, if you were born white and you love this nation, I guess would that make you a white nationalist?
I think so.
I'll plead guilty to that. John pleads guilty to
I'm
that.
guilty.
I said that on the Lynn Willie show not long ago. We were talking about the nationalists and how horrible, awfully bad they are. I said, I'll plead guilty. I was born white, and I love this country. I guess that makes me a white nationalist. So be it. But I'm just saying.
Well, I'm a white nationalist too, because I took a black friend of mine at church. And we went down to Orange, Texas, and helped in the Harvey cleanup. Me and the black guy working side by side all day long. And so, those are the bad guys. The communists can call them names all day long. That's what they do, is they try to smear people. But you just stick your course, and everybody keep doing what's right. And I'll get off the air now.
Okay, thank you for the call, David. Appreciate that.
He did mention something about, what we can do to get out of this mess, and I think there's some fundamental truths that we've forgotten about, like what is our government? Our system of government is a republic. But the kids today are saying we should be a democracy, or no, we are a democracy. We're not a democracy. A democracy means majority rules. And majority rule sounds good until the majority votes to have your house taken away and your children taken away from you. Well, then a majority rule is not so good. So that's why we're not a democracy. Well, how about a republic? What's the difference? Oh, we have law that rules. So say the majority says, we want to take your kids in your house. Well, then the law comes in and says, wait a minute, there's got to be a legal decision on this precedent. You can't just take somebody's house away. So in this case, a democracy would not be a good thing. And this is a fundamental understanding that people have gotten away from.
Well, and why can't we relate a republic governed by a constitution and a Bill of Rights? Why can't we relate that to a constitution based on, let's say, the Ten Commandments? Okay, you can't change the Ten Commandments by a 51% vote of the people. Can't do that. It is set in stone. The Ten Commandments is etched in stone. You can't change it. And that's what governs this country.
Right.
The same thing with our Constitution. You can't decide, well, I don't like the law that says you can own a gun. Let's just change it. You can't do that, because we have the Constitution that you can't change at a whim of some left-wing people. That's
right.
why we're still free. Floyd brought up last week, a fellow called in, he was talking about we ought to all own muskets instead of centerfire ammunition. Well, okay, what do you do if the government gets out of control? What do you do if the local whatever? I think we got a call. Let me see. We're going to have to go to break here pretty quick. Let's take this call, and then we'll go to break. Yes, caller, go ahead.
It's Rick in Slater.
Uh-oh.
Hey, just wanted to point out something I watched. I don't know if you watch or look at any kind of YouTube or videos on YouTube.
I really don't, Rick. I am very high-tech impaired. I can talk on the telephone, and I can watch Fox News, and that's about the extent of it.
Well, it was I just wanted to put it out there that, I know one of your producers or whatever, one of your associates and partners in crime.
There you go.
Yeah, they can look it up. Monica Crowley, Why the Swamp Hates Donald Trump. And she can lay it out. She's got a 27-minute video there. She was at uppity up Palm Beach, Florida weekend with David Horowitz, Restoration Weekend 2017. But I just wanted to point that one out. If anybody wants to, learn how what's been going on in the last 18 months, and she wraps it up pretty good. I mean, it's a good rendition of why the swamp hates Donald Trump, and it's not.
Rick, the problem I think is how many people out here in the big world can comprehend what Donald Trump is doing, or what the Trump is, what the swamp is. How many
I'm just
people?
Calling in to sort of help anybody that's got any interest in their country. I know Monica, she's probably been tapped for some plagiarism or something.
What's her last name? I'll watch it. I'll watch
Crowley.
that YouTube. Crowley. I'll watch that.
Crowley.
I watch YouTube all the time.
Crowley.
I'll
Why
watch
the
it.
Swamp Hates Donald Trump. Very good. I've listened to quite a few explanations, and she pretty much wraps it up.
Nice.
Well, and
I appreciate it. And that's all I got, really. If you want to talk about the stock market, we can do that.
I get pretty dumb quick on that.
that's out of my league, Rick.
Well, hey, it's like you say, you buy low and you sell high.
That's you know, I brokered some equipment, and I bought and sold things all my life, and it is really a pretty simple rule.
Yep.
If you can
buy low,
buy it for less than it's worth and sell it for what it's worth, you can make money.
That's it.
So, at any rate, thank you for the call, Rick.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Now, we have got to go to break because my producers tell me that we have to pay a few bills around here. So, we'll be back in just a little bit. Y'all hang on. Don't go away. Okay, let's talk about some Chinese food here, folks. If you want to talk about some good food, Dynasty Chinese Restaurant is the place for you to go. You'll always receive super customer service and delicious food at Dynasty. It's a Temple favorite for a dine-in, buffet, takeout, or delivery. Dynasty is family-owned and operated. They are strong believers in freedom and liberty and are avid supporters of this show. So give them a call at 778-4434, 254-778-4434 to make a reservation or just take your better half out there for a date night or just a place to order for delivery for that quiet night at home after a long day. Or if you're more tech savvy, I guess, than me, place your order online at www.dynastychineserestaurant.com. They're located at 2501 Airport Road in Temple. 2501 Airport Road in Temple. You can also visit them on Facebook at Dynasty Delivery. Okay, folks, Academy Paint and Body. That's owned and operated by some very patriotic people that are strong supporters of this show. Now, I say that because I go in there and visit with them for a minute, and they say, let me get a checkbook. They offer a full and complete paint and body shop with free estimates and 45 years of combined experience. They know how to fix your car. They offer roadside assistance 24/7, emergency service, including towing. You know, should that dadgum deer run out in front of you and you hit them at midnight or whatever, maybe your teenager gets in a jam or whatever at work, they offer roadside assistance, tire changes, even car lockouts. But lock out your keys in the car, well, give them a holler and they'll come out there and help you. They got a record. Whatever the problem is with your vehicle, they'll work hard to help ease the frustration. Get your vehicle repaired and back on the road. Give RC and Lance a holler at Academy Paint and Body. Their phone number out there is 982-0047. That's 254-982-0047. Now, they're located at 20020 North Highway 95. That's in Little River Academy. So give them a holler, and they'll get your car fixed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to KTEM 1400 on your AM dial on your radio, and welcome to the Common Sense with Conn call-in talk show. The phone number here, if you would like to call in and make a comment or whatever, the phone number is 254-773-1400. That's 773-1400. This is a call-in talk show. I enjoy it every Saturday, and I hope that you do. But what makes it enjoyable is when good callers call in and discuss some of our common problems that we face in this nation today. And there's a growing number of those problems. So if you have something you want to talk about, you just pick up that telephone and call 773-1400. Now, in the meantime, let me tell you about something we're going to have about 4 o'clock today. I'd like to invite everyone to come to a meet and greet little deal, and that's going to be at 701 Sun Meadows Drive. That's the Peloton Ridge Country Club. That's in Harker Heights, Texas, at 701 Sun Meadows Drive. The phone number, in case you get lost, is 698-2542. That's 254-698-2542. And if that number don't work, call my wife at 300-1885. And she can tell you how to get there. But anyway, y'all all feel free to come out there, and we'll just have a little discussion and kind of meet each other. It'll go from 4 o'clock this evening until 6 o'clock this evening. And that's in Harker Heights. So if you get lost, call 698-2542, and they'll tell you how to get there. I heard a lady call in, I think, to the Lynn Woolley show one day, and she was saying that her solution was, we have a lot of vacant land in Kansas. So she thought we ought to bring all the poor people from Africa and put them in Kansas and, help those poor starving people. So I couldn't help it. I called in after she hung up, and I said, I think that's a great idea, lady. I really do. I just have one question. Where are you going to raise the corn to feed the people? After you cover up Kansas, where you can't raise wheat or corn or anything to eat, what are you going to feed the people with?
Oh, no, this is more common sense.
Yeah.
You're overloading us with common sense, Conn. What do you think? What do you think about what Chuck Schumer's doing? He was the one hating Trump because the DACA deal, and Obama should have taken care of DACA 8 years ago, but he dumped it off on Trump. Well, Trump decided to work with the Democrats and said, you know what? I'm going to approve all these people. I'm going to accept this DACA, and you're going to go for my wall. The Democrats are overloaded now. Now they got to find another way to hate Trump. Now they're hating him, but they're trying to find a new tactic to hate him because he's saying, let's just go ahead and approve this DACA, but then let's go get this wall built. So this sounds like Trump is being brilliant in his maneuvering, and Chuck Schumer is overloaded. He doesn't know what to do except continue hating Trump.
Poor Chuck.
Poor Chuck. It's ridiculous. Even Trump is trying to, he's a deal maker. He's making a deal. All right, these people have been in this country for years. Let's bring it on. Let's bring on DACA, and let's get this wall built. And, oh boy, the Democrats can't handle that. They weren't expecting to be sidelined.
Well, and whatever happened to common sense in regard to immigration, for example? I keep bringing up the point. A psychologist was on Fox News not long ago, and he made the comment that in the Quran, there's 100 verses that instructs the followers to kill the infidel wherever you find him. When you see a Christian, kill him. Boom. That's what they're instructed to do. And then he made the statement, every Muslim has the potential of being a jihadist. Okay, think about what he just said. That's true. That doesn't mean every Muslim is a jihadist, but they all have the potential of being one. Now, they've been killing Christians for 1,600 years? So, under Barack Obama's plan, he wanted to bring 110,000 here from refugees from Syria. Under Hillary's plan, she wanted to increase that 550%.
The Democrats are convinced that our economy can only grow by bringing in immigrants, that we're not capable of sustaining ourselves unless we bring in more people to generate more revenue in the economy, and I so disagree with that. I think that's just their way. They just need votes. They're wanting votes.
That's all it's about. And also, some of us good liberal folks, Lindsey Graham being one of them, says, well, this is how we solve the DACA problem. We let them either join the military or we put them in the university. Okay.
I'm against that, too. That's ridiculous.
Think about it. 850,000 or 3.6 million, whatever it is, we're going to give them all student loans, and we're going to put them in the university.
Who's going to pay for that?
Yeah. Who's going to pay for the student loan? Okay. What are they going to study? Oh, well, let's give them $500,000 grants to study the mating habits of the South African tree frog.
I tell you, you want to get me stirred up, is just say, let's let these people serve in the military. The military is something of honor, duty, and country. And the fact that you want to leave your country to come to America means you don't understand what duty, honor, and country is. You can't handle your country. You don't want to make your country better. So let's come to America and join the Army where we can get all that free stuff. Now, what if we say, okay, now you go fight? I guarantee those people that don't believe in duty, honor, and country will be the first to I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, exactly.
So that idea of saying let's let them serve, I am so opposed to that.
Well, I am too. And another suggestion I might have, and I bring this up too often, I guess, but I am a product of a technical vocational high school. When I left the 9th grade, they put me in there. Well, you know what? It was in Houston, and I took welding for 3 years. Well, I out of the 11th grade, I was working at Modern Welding Company that summer, making very, very nice money in 1959 because I knew how to weld. Okay.
What, you learned a trade?
I learned a trade.
No
Heaven
wonder you're wearing
forbid.
a nice shirt today.
I know it.
You're successful because you're intelligent because you learned a trade.
I learned a trade. So the DACA people, why do we want to put them at the University of Texas? If you're going to put them somewhere, teach them a trade. Right now, Jeff McClure was just talking a while ago about the shortage of truck drivers. And the cost of goods is going to skyrocket because we can't haul the goods.
Try finding a journeyman electrician or a qualified HVAC tech. I need both of those people. But most of the electricians that apply for me are not electricians. They're apprentices. They say, well, I know how to do it. I said, do you have a journeyman's license? Well, no, but I know how to do it. No, get your journeyman's license. Don't talk to me until you get your journeyman's license. That tells me that you are serious about the trade, that you took some school, and you understand things. I can't stand people who, anybody can say anything these days.
Yeah.
It doesn't make, so we got a people that there's a business, I think they're a scam business, they're called Retail Ready Career Center in Dallas. They take the GI Bill, they send these guys to a 6-week school for $21,000. Now, anybody that spends their GI Bill $21,000 for a 6 weeks class is not very smart. And then they lead them to believe that they're AC technicians, and they're not. They're not AC techs. You can go to CTC, it's so easy. You can go to Central Texas College, get a 2-year associate's for $5,400. $5,400, become an HVAC tech and have an associate's and really learn the trade, because truthfully it takes 4 years to learn it. Just part of that non-common sense stuff that we've been talking about.
But Lindsey Graham don't want to do that.
No, of course not.
He wants to put them at the
Stick them in the university.
Yeah, it's how stupid is that? And I think we got Bill holding on our telephone line. Bill, go ahead on. Bill, where'd you go? Yes, Bill. Are you there? I think he's done gone. Okay. Well, then we'll go back to talking about truck drivers or something. But but go by any place you want to go by and see the sign in the window that says CDL drivers wanted. How many DACA people are we going to teach to drive a diesel truck? None. Right now, the politicians say we have to have more immigrants because we have to have labor. Why do we have to import labor? I'll tell you why we have to import labor. Oh, don't get me started on this again. But we're paying people not to be laborers. Today in America, 75% of black children do not have a father. You know why they don't? Because the mother can have a baby without a father and draw $637 a month every month. And she can do it times 4. It's $2,500 a month. Why does the father want to go to work? He can just stay at home, let the wife or the live in whatever collect $2,500 a month, plus food stamps, plus Section 8 housing, plus medical, plus. Now, what do you think the children raised in that home, do you think they're going to get out of that home and become truck drivers, plumbers, air conditioning technicians? No.
No, but you can educate these people. I run into these people all the time when I'm going to rental properties to fix ACs or do electric jobs. I've had several welfare recipients tell me the same thing. Why should I work? And I said, well, you miscalculated one thing. Why you should work? Because you forgot the main investment. Well, what's that? Yourself. Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
That's got to mean something. That doesn't mean anything to a lot of people anymore.
It doesn't. And our producer's pointing fingers at me, and that's generally a bad sign. So,
Caller.
oh, okay. I guess we got a caller here. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Do
I believe you guys so spot on what you're all talking about.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hey, I don't know, but Air Force, my dad was 21 years Air Force, and I was Air Force and got out by bad circumstances.
Well, thank you for your service. Yeah. Did you learn much in the Air Force? Did you learn how to make a
Yes,
living?
I did all the way we need to become more neighborly with other countries before we have to destroy them, because
Well, we appreciate your call and thank you for your service in the Air Force. We need good people in the Air Force, in the Army, and the Marine Corps. We sure do, and I thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Okay, if we have more people in the Air Force or the Army or the Marine Corps, what is one of the things that you learn? What's one of the benefits to joining our military? What is one? Do you learn how to associate with other people? Do you learn what the chain of command means? What all do you learn in the military? You learn a lot of things that you don't learn as a welfare recipient in a home with no father.
Discipline.
Number one, discipline.
Civil accord.
All kind of things. See, but you don't get that if you just live on the street, living on welfare. You miss that. So I guess we got another caller. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Conn. This is Tina.
Yes, ma'am.
So, on in respect to your welfare families, if you want to call them families, the children, and the mothers, there's a program called Success Academy Charter Schools. It's actually a post on your Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
They are in New York, and they are having unbelievable success. Yet, all the welfare state people are complaining and trying to forbid them to be in their schools. They don't want them in their neighborhoods. They don't want them to have any kind of influence over these poverty-stricken, high-risk children. Because I'm assuming, because the children would turn out better than the mom that they're with, and then the mom wouldn't have any way to defend herself being on welfare, and they couldn't continue the process.
Well, that's dumb, because we always want our kids to be better than us. We always hope our kids will do better, be smarter.
Do all of us feel that way?
Is there
so.
a trend to dumb down America? I ask this a lot. What is the goal of some of these people? What's their goal? Where do they want to go? What's the end result of where they're taking us? You look at the LGBT community that is growing by leaps and bounds. Look at the all kinds of anti-American things that are growing by leaps and bounds. Look at the Black Lives Matter.
Well, if we get so self-absorbed in our idiotic behaviors, we no longer have intelligent, educated people who have community on their minds rather than self, then the socialists have complete control. And they can do what they want and stay in power, feed themselves money. Anyway, I'm going to get off the phone. I just wanted to let you know about the school, the school system, I should say. It is part of public school system, and they are doing an incredible job. They say, America needs to toughen up. Our children are not as weak and vulnerable as we want to think they are, or we think we are. That China and India, they push their kids. They're in school from 7:45 to 4:30. And they have learned a lot. You just need to expose their brains, and their brains will absorb. They're not small-brained.
Well,
all right.
Thank you for the call, Tina. But see, that kind of thing is looked down upon by our education system. I would be an advocate of abolishing the Department of Education. I really do believe that they do a lot more harm than they do good. I think we need to take a break, is what I think. Yes, go ahead on. Farm Poultry is a family-owned and operated farm located in Lott and in Temple. They raise and sell chickens and peacocks of exceptional quality. These are not hatchery birds. They are highly productive, big, dual-purpose birds, so you can have large, beautiful colored eggs for your family breakfast or a nice-sized chicken for dinner. If you're not local, they ship chicks and hatchlings eggs all over the great state of Texas. They also raise some gorgeous, rare, and endangered chicken breeds. They invite you to learn about them and enrich your flock with these incredible birds while helping to continue these breeds' existence. Ask for Tina Gary, and her number is at 210-215-7610. Don't let the 210 throw you off because they've been here for about 12 years in this area. Okay, their website is www.asgard, that's SZGARD, farmpoultry.com. And of course, they're on Facebook. Their email is chickenmath@asgardfarmpoultry.com. Give them a holler. Okay, folks, let's talk a little bit about getting your business or your home electrified or air conditioned. Dean Electric and Air Conditioning are an experienced business serving the greater Austin, Killeen area with professional, top-quality electrical services, including electrical construction, electrical service upgrades, and home wiring. The AC side of their company services many brands of air conditioning as well as providing total new installations. They do exemplary work, have friendly customer service, and reasonable rates. So if you need any type of electrical wiring or AC work, give them a holler. Their offices are located in Killeen at 502 South 2nd Street, and their phone number there is 371-5016. That's 254-371-5016. If you're in Williamson County or Travis County, you can call them at 512-694-3440. That is 694-3440, area code 512. Give old John up there a holler and he'll get you electricity. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to KTEM 1400 on your AM dial on your radio. And welcome to the Common Sense with Conn call-in talk show. The phone number here, if you would like to call in and make a comment or whatever, the phone number is 254-773-1400. That's 773-1400. This is a call-in talk show. I enjoy it every Saturday, and I hope that you do. But what makes it enjoyable is when good callers call in and discuss some of our common problems that we face in this nation today. And there's a growing number of those problems. So if you have something you want to talk about, you just pick up that telephone and call 773-1400. Now, in the meantime, let me tell you about something we're going to have about 4 o'clock today. I'd like to invite everyone to come to a meet and greet little deal, and that's going to be at 701 Sun Meadows Drive. That's the Peloton Ridge Country Club. That's in Harker Heights, Texas, at 701 Sun Meadows Drive.
All of this a little bit.
I have an idea too.
Okay,
It kind of
great.
parallels
Okay.
your idea. It's like, we're talking about, we need these immigrants to work for us because nobody wants to do these jobs. I think that's nonsense. So here's my plan. When summer school, when school ends, all these teenagers cannot play video games. They have to go to work for the highway department. That's my idea. I don't think it'll work.
Well,
I read something about that, and I'm not sure. I think it was in Texas, somewhere in Texas, or maybe California, that they were using prisoners going out there and picking up, cleaning up the streets and picking up trash or this and that and the other thing. But it kind of makes sense to, and I'm sure you couldn't take everyone out there, but, I agree. Why can't we utilize some of the assets that we already have that we're paying for them to be confined? And, I hate to say it, but we are paying for them to be
Because
confined.
they can't vote. They can't vote.
let me inject something real quick into your conversation to prove your point. Up until about, until William Wayne Justice became the federal judge in Tyler, Texas, that stopped it. Up until that time, do you know what department in the state of Texas was totally self-sufficient? Did not take $1 of tax money. You know what it was?
The prison.
It was the Texas Department of Corrections.
Yeah.
They made their own clothes. They raised their own beef, had their own gardens, had their own vegetables. They made license plates and sold to the counties. But the Texas Department of Corrections was totally self-funding. The other department was the Texas Game and Fish Commission. But under William Wayne Justice, that super brilliant federal judge in Tyler, he stopped all that. So, back to my previous comment, when do we allow intelligence to destroy us? That federal judge, he was so smart that he figured out that, man, you can't have the prisons self-funding. Sounds good, don't it?
That sounds great, yeah.
And then these people have a bit of a knowledge base, so when they get out of prison, they might be able to get a job. They might be employable.
That's right.
But now they get out of
Absolutely.
prison, they don't have that. They have to start over, and it's very hard for them to find work. Like, TDLR forbids us to hire felons, so they can't do air conditioning or electric. So they're going to have to do something. Wow.
Well, it was like it's in today's paper, a gentleman that has been in and out of prison got released on January the 16th. He hadn't been out of prison for more than 2 weeks and went and tried to rob a bank. Got caught and went back. So obviously, whatever system they're using in there isn't working, and we're not developing and restructuring people on the inside to be able to come out on the outside. So, you know,
Well, so
I don't
much
know the answer.
so much of what we do that we call progression and enlightenment and all of those high-powered words is stupidity. For example, child labor laws. My first job was when I was 14. When I turned 14, I got a
So
driver's
was mine.
license.
I was 14. I was working in a Boy Scout camp, washing pots and pans.
I worked for Brazos Auto Parts, delivering parts. When I was 14, I was driving their delivery truck. Okay, now the child labor laws or whatever it is, oh, you can't do that. You can't hire anybody unless they're 18. Why? Why is that? I can remember, here we go back to the old
Because they can't
days.
vote.
When I was a kid in elementary school in Davila, Texas, none of the male students came to school in September. You know why they didn't? They came to school
Picking up
after
hay.
They were working.
they came to school after cotton was in and after corn was pulled. Then they came to school. So why, you know, and I know we can't go back to the old days, but because of that, those male students that were 12 years old, whatever, they learned how to work. They developed a work ethic. Their parents, my parents, came through the Depression. My parents knew how to work, and you better work if you was going to be there.
Absolutely.
Now, my mother was a hard woman, and I've told this before, and I guess I'll
I
shut
believe
up.
you.
But
believe
she
you.
was. My mother, the first thing I can remember my mother telling me was, I'd rather see you die a man than live a coward.
That's a great woman right there.
And the other thing I remember was I cut my foot, blood is running everywhere. I looked down at that and started crying. Mother said, "Shut up, boy, you ain't hurt." So I think that I got to get off of here and turn it over to some commercials. But we'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. Don't
All right. Thanks, Conn.